good beat.
Kind of makes me feel like partying. All right, welcome back to the 11th episode of the Stump The Schwammy podcast. Excited to be back.
I'm ready to party.
I'm definitely ready to party now. It's going to be a good time today, I think.
I think we need that on in the background the whole time.
Just kind of low the whole time. Okay, so there's no way.
We'd start partying too.
I'd be dancing the whole time. It just couldn't work. So we're hoping to get back into the trivia a little bit today. Got a game set up for the Schwammy. You guys will be able to kind of test your hand at it too. We'll try to share a link on Twitter and everything so you can actually get a score for it and try to one-up them and everything.
This is
like
early. We're within the first minute of the podcast. You heard there's going to be a link. It's not at the end. So if you hear it, go do it. And don't cheat.
Yeah, don't cheat. Come on.
If you say you didn't hear it, you're a liar. Because we're in a minute. So if you turned it on, you heard it.
You can beat Jerry without cheating. It's fine.
Yeah, I suck. Except I'm the Schwammy and I'm the best.
Ooh. Well, I said they could beat Jerry, not the Schwammy.
Oh.
It's your alter ego. It's fine.
Freaking stink boys.
Thinking about rebranding, you know. What do you guys think about the Stink Boys podcast?
Let us know. I like stink boys.
All right, so we got a couple quick news items to get into. We're going to go through some of the playoff teams from last year, as you guys can see on the screen, and then we'll get into our game at the end. Biggest news probably of the last week or so, Jameis Winston's facing a 3-game suspension?
Yep.
I think that's right. How do you think that affects the Bucs losing Jameis for a couple games like that?
Well, Ryan Fitzpatrick gets to not die for another year somehow, I think. I mean, the other quarterback might play, but
Ryan Griffin, I think.
You would think that Fitzpatrick's just going to steal another paycheck here.
And play really good for one of the 3 games, probably.
Make him think about sitting Winston, and then in game 3 he throws about 5 picks.
Is Winston going to get a new contract? Because he hasn't really done anything incredibly good.
I remember at the start of last year, everybody's like, man, Winston's a good fantasy pick. He's going to throw a bunch of touchdowns. And then he was very mediocre and
I thought he was going to be awesome, but he hasn't really done anything yet.
You would think with Mike Evans and friends he would be good.
Friends. Yeah, who they have now. Do they still have Deshaun Jackson?
Maybe. I guess the worst part last year was Doug Martin serving his suspension, and they were playing with Jaquiz Rogers and random running backs in the backfield.
They drafted Ronald Jones. They have O.J. Howard still. They signed Brate to a bigger contract. They have Humphreys, I guess. He's pretty good. So I heard something too that 3-game stretch is the hardest 3-game stretch in Super Bowl era, strength of schedule wise or something. So they're gonna be 0-3.
Are they playing New England, Philly, and Minnesota or something?
No, but I think it's New England, the Saints, and someone else.
Oh yeah,
I'll have to look it up. Other than that, I really liked seeing in the last week Baker go on Colin Cowherd's show and just kind of pretty much own him about being a good teammate versus not celebrating with his team and stuff like that.
He's been a popular topic of conversation. I think it was funny to hear Cowherd tried to defend himself after he was getting shut down in the later part of that discussion. He was like, I want to see you with your teammates. It's oh, thanks, Dad.
all right, Father. Thanks, Daddy. Cowherd always seems kind of like a doofus to me.
He's a clown.
Yeah, so I don't take much what he has to say.
He's good at stirring stuff up, and I guess it makes for good radio. But
yeah, I'm glad Baker defended himself and everything, and was able to just straight up refute it.
I didn't know this until 2 days ago, but when he went on, it the Cowherd show's on TV, but it's a radio show or whatever. But he was wearing a sweatshirt, and it was quoting Colin Cowherd, and it just said undraftable because that's what Cowherd said about him.
So the big discussion for today we're going to get into is the, I guess, common theory or whatever is that each year, I think it was for the past 22 seasons or something like that, we've had on average 5 new teams in the playoffs each year, which means 5 have to leave pretty much. So we're going to try to give our best guess as to what teams will be out and what teams will be in. So we're each going to pick 5 new teams to make it into the playoffs that weren't there last year, and we're going to kick 5 of the playoff teams from 2018 out. Jerry, do you want to start, or do you want me to go into it? You got your list?
Yeah, you can go first then.
I can go first? Okay. It was really hard to pick, actually. I thought there was going to be more than like 1 or 2 that were easy for me to kick out. I'll start with the ones that I'm going to kick out, and I guess I can mention a little bit about why each one. The easier ones for me were Tennessee and Buffalo. I'd have to guess that you probably have the same ones. We'll hear yours in a second, I guess. Buffalo seems like one of the worst teams, like on paper right now. It's going to be either A.J. McCarron or Josh Allen starting for them. So their defense is okay, Peterman? But if it's Peterman, I can guarantee you that they're not going.
Guaranteed Super Bowl.
Wow. Tennessee isn't like bad, but they just seem like a good notch down from all these other teams.
They snuck in anyways. Were they like the 6?
They were the 5 seed. They did end up beating KC last year. I actually don't have KC making it back. I think Mahomes is going to be good, but this is his first year, so that's kind of why they're kind of like replacing a lot of their defensive talent. And then for the NFC, Carolina and Atlanta. Carolina seems kind of on the verge too. It's really just if Cam decides to be Superman all season or not, pretty much. Atlanta, I actually don't know if I believe as much, but I had to pick another team.
And they were the 6th seed.
They were the 6th seed. They have a veteran quarterback that's pretty good, so that always puts them in the running.
They just got like infinite money on a paycheck.
Yeah. Calvin Ridley added to their offense, but they were the last seeds, and their NFC seems pretty loaded. So, and then the teams to replace them, I tried to make it make sense with like divisions and stuff. I don't want to say it's 100% accurate, but since KC was getting knocked out, I'm actually having both Oakland and the Chargers in. I think Oakland is the one I believe the least. I'm being a homer about it. But the Chargers seem pretty good, even though they lost Hunter Henry already.
Yeah, that's less than they've lost like the last 3 seasons right before.
Yeah. John Gruden's getting to a point to where everyone's hating him so much that I'm almost like, okay, maybe it'll like reverse jinx him.
Yeah.
They're still talented, but I don't know. They're going to be iffy.
They're a little gray.
Yeah. I'm going to put Houston in instead of Tennessee. Hoping Deshaun Watson bounces back. I'm going to put Detroit and Green Bay both in on the NFC side. So anytime you have Aaron Rodgers, just assuming he stays healthy the whole year, he'll probably be in it. And then Detroit, I'm really banking on Kerryon Johnson giving them a running game, which is really weird. I don't know why I'm such a big fan of him, but maybe if they can get that balanced offense, it'll work out. That was a lot to say.
What was your biggest stretch for your end team?
Like the one that I'm a little iffy on, putting in.
Like the one that you were like, I'm not sure.
Probably Oakland, to be honest. They were the last one I picked. Like Broncos could be okay. I don't know.
That's true. There's a lot of middling teams, I feel like.
Yeah, I thought about like Baltimore and Cincinnati. Both could be good too. I just kind of went homer pick, I think.
All right, mine
ready?
is eerily similar. I
imagine.
I have Buffalo out, which we both just talked about, sort of. My phone just went blank. I have Carolina out. I just kind of think they're kind of low-key switching identity. Thomas Davis will be out the first 4 games because he's using drugs or whatever. And then they got, even though he was starting to age, Jonathan Stewart's gone. I think that kind of changed their backfield. Even if McCaffrey is like the main dude, it's still. Yeah,
they have C.J. Anderson, but anytime there's change, there's area for it to go wrong.
I just think they're primed for something to not quite go as well. Plus, they took 3 teams out of that division, and one of them's not going to make. Like, they can't take 3 teams.
Yeah.
And then I took out the Rams. I think they had a good year last year. I think they might kind of come back to earth, even though they're a super team.
I kept thinking
anytime there's a super team,
it doesn't work.
They're not a super team.
Not in the NFL. That's an NBA strategy.
I'll be real happy if they're good. It's just kind of like at the moment what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I don't have Kansas City in. We both discussed that. I think they're just getting older. Mahomes, I want to do well. I just, he's going to have some growing pains, obviously. Hopefully him and Sammy hook up for about 100 touchdowns.
That would be a lot of touchdowns, Jerry.
It would be, like 6 a game or something. Be cool, though.
It would be sweet.
And then, this one's a big stretch. Another stretch. Taking out New England.
Ooh.
I think they've had a lot of troubling things this offseason. They lost you could say their second/third receiver when Amendola went to Miami.
Yeah.
And then Edelman is currently suspended, although
Right.
he's appealing it because, according to the NFL, he was being suspended for an unknown substance. And it wasn't just unknown to us, it was unknown to them. So
it's like, you can't have that.
So you would think he's got a pretty good chance to at least get that reduced, if not removed. And the only flaw in that I have is that I don't have a team replacing New England from the AFC East because the rest of the division is trash.
That's true.
So I kind of think they're going to have a bad season, but I mean, I don't really think any of the other three are powerhouses to replace them.
I understand what you're going at. Obviously, it doesn't check out like technical wise, but you're calling a regression from them.
Yeah, and I just wasn't able to pick a team out of the other three that I honestly thought would move in. All right.
Maybe, I don't know. The Dolphins, I guess, if Tannehill comes right back and is fine, but that seems iffy.
You never know what the Dolphins are doing.
Yeah. They're really good at being like 7-9.
One of the podcasts I listen to always talks about how all of their media people talk them up as if they're just always looking super good in the offseason, and then they just kind of poop every single year.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then my in teams.
Okay.
I got the Chargers in, like you. I just think they're primed. They do good at the end of every year, and they always have injuries, and so far they've only had one. So.
They always get really unlucky, so if they can just have normal luck one time, it would make it.
And they have a lot of good receivers as long as one doesn't tear an ACL or something, and then Melvin Gordon's balling. Their defense is stacked. I think it's just putting it together and no one getting hurt.
Phillip Rivers, when his kicker actually makes a game-winning field goal this season.
That'd be cool.
That's what he's going to be like?
Okay. He starts taking off his bowler tie.
Oh, boy. Let me just undress.
Hope one of his 20 kids isn't
watching. That's what I was going to 17 kids, look away.
He's going to have 18 after that one. I have the Texans in, another team that's good if they don't get hurt.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson was balling. The defense is good, but someone gets hurt every year. And that division's weak. I mean, the Jaguars are good, but
Tennessee's iffy.
I don't really.
Colts are iffy with Andrew
I think the
Luck's
Tennessee
shoulder.
improved, and that's why I didn't take them out. I think they could still sneak in, but I don't know. That division's just kind of weak. And then in the NFC, I have the Niners getting in place of the Rams.
I was thinking about that.
It's Jimmy G time and friends.
Garoppolo season.
He's undefeated, so I just assume that he's not going to lose another game.
For the rest of eternity.
It's just how things go. And then I also took the Lions.
Oh, okay.
I think the Lions are due. I think every year they have pretty good showing, and then they kind of pitter out in the middle of the season, and they don't really make the playoffs. But I think, like you said, if there's any balance, literally any at all, in the backfield, they'll do a lot better. Stafford throwing 50 times a game isn't going to win them 10 games.
No.
So it'd be cool if it did. He would break some records. But
did you hit all 5 now?
Nope, got one more.
Okay, one more.
And this one's pretty cool.
I'm ready.
So I don't know if I really believe this, but I'd be pretty cool if it happened. And if it did happen, it would be an 8-8, not any stellar sneak in. But I got Cleveland sneaking in.
We're the worst.
I don't know. I think they're really improved.
Jerry, when that happens.
I'll be there. If they're hosting, wish they wouldn't be because they'd be a wild card team. But I think they really improved. I think they have a lot of new pieces on offense, and if they go together, it's going to be nice. I don't still think they're susceptible on the back end of the defense, but I think the front end is pretty improved. But we'll see. Hopefully. Too bad Cleveland couldn't just switch over to the AFC East because, New England's in it, but it's a way weaker division than the AFC North.
Yeah. Yeah, the other 3 teams are pretty meh.
Yeah, and then in the AFC North, the other 3 are all pretty competitive, and the Ravens are on a downfall, but it'll be Lamar Jackson season coming up
soon. Did you have any teams that you felt like should be in, but you just didn't have room for them, or were you kind of stretching with the Browns at the end?
I was stretching with the Browns. I don't have one specifically. I kind of thought maybe the Ravens, because I don't know. I feel like they have someone hurt every year too.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't think the Bengals will get in. I mean, really, the Rams could probably still get in.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they had too good of a year for them to continue what they were at.
Yeah, I think for the Ravens, they're always pretty competitive. They have good coaching. The Bengals, if Mixon and Ross get going, and then Cordy Glenn kind of helps shore up the line, it's possible. One team that I think if there was more room in the NFC, the Bears seem like they're the like hot team this offseason. So
it's another one where like everybody's on them, hoping they're doing better, but really it's kind of like a team that you picture going like 8-8, or like 7-9, and not really quite making the playoffs.
Right. Yeah. So they were
like
they'll
be a fun team this year, but I don't really know.
They'll be watchable. All right. Any other thoughts on that? Or are you ready for game time?
I feel like maybe there's a chance that Minnesota doesn't get in either.
Yeah, just maybe Kirk Cousins doesn't quite work out.
Yeah, it just doesn't really it doesn't like flow. Because they had some mojo going, and to dump, I don't even know why they would dump Case Keenum, but I don't know. But they're really good on defense, so I guess they have that to fall back on no matter what.
Yeah,
and they get Dalvin Cook back.
Pretty solid core to the team. Yeah, they had Latavius last year and McKinnon. So McKinnon's gone, but they're bringing Dalvin Cook back, and he was dominating the first like 2 games or whatever.
Yeah.
You ready for game time?
Heck yeah, man.
So no Schwammy snack this week. We're skipping right to the trivia because we haven't really done that in a while.
Yeah,
we'll have to check up on our World Cup brackets here after the group stage ends in a couple days.
I'd say yours is looking a little better than mine. All I know is I picked Panama to move in, and they scored 1 goal through 3 games. So.
My winning team's doing well so far. I don't know about the rest of it. Okay, so the premise of the game, again, if you made it this far, we'll put a link up so you can play too, and I'll try to fit it on the screen here so we can kind of see what's going on. But I picked out just a random player from each of the 32 teams, and you're just going to have to try to match them to their team.
I think I can do this.
There are some that are easier than others. None of them are superstar players, really.
Are they all on the real roster or like practice squad?
They're all on the like real roster as of Roto World's most current depth charts.
Okay, so it's gonna be there's some deepness.
A little bit. There are not many starters. There are not many completely random players either.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I'm pretty good at like the middle of the pack random dudes.
Let's see if I can fit this in the screen. Okay, so I can do a couple. We can fit a couple at a time here.
Okay.
So I'll let you kind of work here. You're looking at the first couple names, and honestly, these are some of the harder ones. So I'll scroll down before I turn this over to the Schwammy. You can look through some of the players. There's 32 of them, and then you're typing in that letter, and then at the end, you'll be able to check your answers. I think most of us have used Quizlet before, so.
Man, doing through 32 is kind of challenging.
Yeah, so I'll let you kind of just tackle it how you want.
Okay.
No real time limit here. It just checks at the end.
Okay, and I just type in the letter on whatever one is correct?
Yep, so you'll like click in here, and then so like next to Ray Armstrong, you'll click, and then if you think he's on the Jets, you'd put a J.
Okay, so Ray Boy is a Niner.
Okay.
I think. So I'm putting an X there. That's the first one I'm sure of. I know that this guy is on my Mutt team.
Do capital to make sure because I don't know 100%.
Okay. I know that Mr. Correa is on my Mutt team, and I hate when my roster puts him in.
Is he not that good then?
No. Oh, sweet Jesus.
Technical difficulty.
Haloti Nada is a Lion.
Okay.
So where's the Lions? So W. So that's 2.
I'm going to try to give as few hints as possible. Or do you want to do the old situation of like 2 or 3 hints or whatever throughout the whole thing?
I like hints.
We'll see how you do first.
Okay.
I'm going to let you kind of think through
Well,
this.
Benny Cunningham has to be on the Rams, but he's not.
That's just in our heads, I think.
Kenny Britt is on the Pats because he's stupid.
And he's on the Browns.
No, never. So I got that one. Jeff Janis is on the Browns because he's the GOAT. Did you see that tweet the other day when there was like the top playoff performances by a receiver since 2010, and he was like the third one.
That's so stupid.
he was
I
like,
remember him dominating.
he put up like the shrug shoulders like emoji, like whatever. Barry Church, I think, is still on the Jaguars. Maybe.
And again, if you missed the link or something, the account on Quizlet is just called Stump The Schwammy, too, so you can just search us, and it should pop up. We went to, so there's a couple different ways on here you can, I'm just being a teacher now, a couple different ways you can study on here. So we went to the test option, changed them all to matching, and all 32, so if you want to do it yourself.
All right,
if you want to make a quiz for us, heck, we'd probably do it on the next episode. So.
Basham is a Colt because he played for OU. So that one's cool. Taysom Hill is a Saint because he's their gunner. He's their gunner.
I figured you would know.
Who's also a quarterback.
I was interested if you'd remember.
I recognize most of these names. I just they're like those ones that move around a lot.
They're a very weird bunch.
Yeah. I want to say Nkemdiche is on the Cards.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give him a big old B.
Nkemdiche. Why did you fall out that window?
McAvoy should still be on the Seahawks, question mark. So I'm going to throw a Q in there. I don't really know if that's true or not.
Okay.
Old McGroin.
Are there many players that you just have no idea who they are? I tried to pick ones that you would at least maybe know.
Let's see.
Some that I know you would recognize.
I think I recognize. I mean, I don't know who this is. I don't know who Lachlan Edwards is.
Okay.
I think I may have heard that name.
Right. He's one of the harder ones, I'd say.
I think the rest I've all heard before. This guy I only know because he's on my Mutt team.
Fair. I think Coleman was a big fan of him coming out of the draft, maybe. I recognize the name.
Where did Huggs go?
Right.
Ooh, PK. Yeah!
Let's go some live World Cup action.
Super Eagles. Ooh, did you see that?
Nice leg.
That was a FIFA celebration.
Side flip or something. Nigeria ties it up on the PK.
Man, some of these are hard. All right, Benny Cunningham, I believe, is a Jet.
Okay.
Did I already use the Jets? I wouldn't be surprised. No, he is a Jet.
J-E-T.
J for Jet. Jake's butt is a Bronco.
Okay. He's a bucking Bronco.
These are not in alphabetical
Yeah,
order,
it's just kind of random, so that makes it difficult.
Where's the Broncos?
You screw it in.
Oh, in. Jake's butt is a nice Bronco, bucking Bronco. Rico Gathers is a Cowboy. He's a tight end.
There you go. He's the former basketball player, right?
Yeah, for Baylor.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too.
Come
on, get Logan Thomas.
I can't. He's been around.
He's definitely been around and changed positions.
I thought he was on the Lions a little bit, but he might be Buffalo. I think he is Buffalo because once nope, maybe he's not. I can't remember. I'm putting
what were you gonna think?
Well, because I was gonna say he was the weird quarterback that came in and did stuff after dude went to the Raiders, but then that's kind of what Joe Webb did.
E.J. Manuel's.
Yeah.
Joe Webb kind of did that too.
So that's kind of confusing.
I think Webb was on there at some point.
Captain, my captain.
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
I can't remember.
These are a very hard tweener group of players.
Yeah.
I know we keep saying that, but it's true. A lot of them move around a lot.
Barks, I think, is a Bengal because I wanted Barks and Barks for the Bengals. Maybe not. He's a Bengal. Congrats, Barks. You're a Bengal.
Congratulations.
I'm gonna say Jacquizz is still a Buccaneer? Question mark.
It's have I used them yet?
Well, see, I kind of have an idea for all of them. I just don't know if they're
not 100%.
Yeah. Let's see. I want to say that Correa is a Redskin. But I might be
number
wrong.
6.
Yeah.
Kamala Correa. Are you looking for Redskins?
Yeah, but I don't know if he is or not. I saw it. I just
okay.
questioning myself.
Gotcha.
Light the Lamp is something.
Real good. Guard. Light the Lamp.
Oh, he's a Charger. I think. Did I already use the Chargers? Yep. I think he's a Charger because I think he got hurt, right?
He did get hurt last season, I believe.
Yeah.
Him and that Other guard they draft Feeney.
Logan Ryan, who was a Patriot, might be a Titan now. Might not.
It's like, who do we got left together?
I'm usually pretty good with quarterbacks. I'm confused on McGloin. I don't really know where he is.
Yeah.
I know he left.
This is about as exciting as taking a test can get, to be fair.
This is true. I'm going to say captain plays for the Vikings because it just seems like that's correct. I was going to put V just because it was Viking, but it is not. Where
R.
did they go? R. Okay.
Yeah, so a little like breaking the fourth wall. At least we have like on screen. We can see you answering. We can see the options. We're sharing the link. They can compete against you. So we got a little bit going for you.
Joe Webb signed somewhere and not Buffalo, and I can't remember where he went. Somewhere.
You haven't ventured to the top of the list yet. Are you a little scared of Graham Glasgow?
I don't know where he is. And I don't know where he went. And I don't know where. I think Ham might play for the Steelers.
There you go. That's Jack.
Yeah, I know. That's why.
Sam Ficken. Do you recognize that name at all?
What did he do? What's
He's a kicker.
He's a kicker. Old Ficken.
And he played some last year.
He played some for a team that sucks at kicking.
For a kicker that got hurt.
Kicker that got hurt. Old Ficken.
On a good team.
Kyle Juszczyk plays for the Ravens. Obi
Melifanu.
I don't remember. I think Pouncey plays for.
You have the Steelers and the Dolphins sitting right there.
I know.
I know that's what you're thinking. you're like, wait, shit.
I think he's not on the Steelers anymore, so that's why I'm like, I'm gonna go Dolphins.
Okay.
I'm confused where Hogs is. Hogue boy, where'd you go? Hoagie.
Old Hogue boy.
Hogue daddy. He's not on the Eagles.
What about Austin Pastor?
Former Brown.
Any idea now?
Nope. I know he wore a sweet visor and he sucked.
Yeah.
That's all I remember. Bears? That sounds a good fit for Mr. Pastor.
Yeah, that's in there.
He seems kind of like a bear.
Do any of these other players belong on the Bears? That's kind of what you got to check.
McGloin? I don't know. This is getting to the point where I don't really know where these people are. All right, I do know I still have the Bills left, and I have Logan Thomas, so he's going to go ahead and play for the Bills this year.
There you go. Congratulations, Logan Thomas.
Leonte Carroo used to play for the Colts, but I don't know who he plays for now. The Panthers. It's not St. Brown Daddy.
Who are you looking for?
Who would play for the Panthers?
Okay. Do you want any more hints?
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Scroll down. Keep scrolling. I'm like, who do I want to give you a hint for? Okay, so the Panthers player, you already assigned them to a different team.
Oh, sweet. Captain, my captain.
That's all I'm gonna give you.
This sucks. I'm gonna get an F. How many you think I got? Let's see. I got 1, 2.
I think you're doing
3,
okay
4,
so far.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
You're gonna get a nice okay grade.
So I have 19 done. How many think I got right? Well, I got one wrong. So.
Without really like counting them up, maybe like 14 or so.
Oh, shoes.
Oh, shoes check.
Oh, shoes check. All right, Pastor's gonna play for the Bears. We're just gonna start guessing. Joe Webb. You want to go back to the Panthers? Nah. I already marked the Panthers. Okay.
Yeah, the Panthers one.
That one I might be able to figure out. Hogue Daddy. What did the Browns recently trade to acquire?
It's like Hogan and Webb.
Hogue. Let's see. They haven't traded with any of those teams. They traded Kaiser to the Packers, so he's not there. He's not.
I'm going to put like 10 more minutes on you. Yeah. You haven't even got
10's a lot.
Yeah, that's plenty of time.
I don't even deserve that. Hogue boy.
We got places to be, Jerry.
I know, we got thingies. We got stuff.
We definitely have things and possibly stuff.
All right, who plays for the Giants? Let's figure that out. God, I don't know. I'm honestly going to have to start guessing. Because, like...
Is it bad if some of them I just put this together to give a little pull back of the curtain again. 20 minutes before we started, and I forget some of these.
Logan Ryan's going to play for the Titans.
Okay.
Laurente Carew might play for the... somebody?
He plays for a team. I'll give you that.
The Falcons. That should be not that hard of one. Falcons. It's not Joe Webb.
Oh, Jerry, I'm so sore right now.
You gonna make it?
I don't know. It depends how long this quiz goes. Played some volleyball the other day. I'm still hurting from that. Ran some miles last night.
Correa's gonna play for the Chiefs.
Congratulations, Correa.
Hogs, you're gonna play for the Steelers, I guess. No, that doesn't make any sense. I gotta at least pretend to make sense.
Fair.
It's not McGloin. How about it's not him? Glasgow. Nope, too early, too high. Ficken's a kicker. He didn't play. Ham. Steelers.
There we go. Again, that's Jack Ham.
Yeah, it's okay.
That's like a half credit.
Lachlan Edwards, he sounds like a Raiders player.
Oh boy.
I just don't know. Like, there's not really me like getting any closer at this point.
Yeah, that's all you can do.
Who needed a big, tall, dumb receiver? How about the Giants? Question mark. Probably not. The Panthers already have one. How about the Rams?
Do they have
I think I just missed some, and it's throwing off like my last couple because like
fair.
nothing really fits.
You just gotta
Obi.
start filling them in now.
What's Obi play?
What position?
Yeah.
He's a DB. Safety.
Safety. He's backup safety.
Plays a little corner, but he's mostly safety.
We'll say he plays for the Texans. They need some of those.
I mean, that's good reason.
I'm playing GM now, really.
We've transitioned from test to you're actually assigning all these players.
All right, Laurente Carew can play for the Redskins.
What Jerry doesn't know is this is real life fantasy draft, and you've just shaken up the entire league with like backup players.
This is something I've dreamed of forever. All right,
Maybe not these players.
What do the Rams need?
Glasgow's a pretty good player, actually. Some of these are good players.
All right, who sucks? Who would have a good player? The Giants suck. I bet he plays for them.
Do you know what position he is?
He's a lineman, isn't he?
He's a lineman.
But like, all these ones left.
I believe he's a left guard, if that helps at all.
He's gonna play for the Rams.
Congratulations, Rams.
That's not right.
Beefing up that line.
We're gonna put this guy on the Packers. Also, probably not right.
All right. Got a big body. Hey, they
What's
got to replace
Ficken?
Jeff Janis.
Ficken's a kicker.
He's a kicker.
He doesn't play for any of these teams. Can I get any more right? McGloin. Who could McGloin play for? Oh, these are all quarterbacks, and these are all wrong. I don't
Some
know.
QBs and a kicker.
I'm going to say Joe Webb just went back to the Panthers. That's not right. I'm going to say...
But you want it to happen,
Yeah.
so.
I'm going to say McGloin plays for the Eagles for some reason.
Okay.
He's their last quarterback, which he
American
was. American Eagle. What do I got left?
So.
Giants, Falcons. Let's say Ficken plays for the Giants. I know he does not. This is me just giving it away. And then I guess Hogs plays for the Falcons.
Congratulations.
Who knows? But
So if you didn't feel confident in beating the Schwammy before, maybe you feel a little bit better now?
man,
You ready to check your answers?
you know what really doesn't help is the fact that I've been playing a lot of Mutt, and if these players have moved at all, they have like their old card.
That's true. All right, you ready?
Let's see. There's 32. I'm gonna say I got 15.
15? You don't even want to give yourself 50%?
16.
All right. Ooh.
First one wrong. Knew that was wrong.
Glasgow's,
Ooh, I got the Packers though.
Glasgow's on the Lions. Equinemius St. Brown just got drafted to the Packers.
Oh, I did get 15. It had to be.
Yeah, I talked you into the wrong one. C.J. Ham's our fullback for the Vikings.
Oh,
Had to throw one fullback in there.
I wouldn't figure that one out.
Sam Ficken is the kicker that replaced Legatron.
See, I was thinking crappy teams.
Yeah.
Not good teams. Ray does not play for the Niners anymore.
Nope. He did. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Kamala Carrera or whatever.
Oh, you sure doesn't play for the
Ravens. So Lachlan Edwards is a punter for the Jets.
Didn't know that.
Had to get one in there. Juszczyk went from the Ravens to the Niners like last year. So Shanahan was like a super big fan of him, and he got the big like fullback contract.
I did not know that Nada played for the Eagles.
I think that's recent.
No, I was unaware.
Obi Melifonwu was Oakland's second-round pick, like not this year, but last year. So he was like injured all year, pretty much.
And I got that one.
Pouncey, I mean, you had two teams.
Yeah.
Narrowed it down to Hogan's on the Skins now.
Probably would have figured that out.
Joe Webb on the Texans. I mean, hey, if Deshaun Watson's still
That's a
hurt,
weird spot.
That is weird.
Because they already got Braxton Miller, and well, I guess they have trash behind him.
You know where Buck goes. That's the important thing.
I know where butts are.
Austin Pastor went to the Falcons. He followed back there.
He thinks it doesn't matter where he's at. He should never be playing.
Danny Cunningham to the Bears.
The Rams.
We all have this in our mind that it's the Rams.
If you don't think Benny Cunningham plays for the Rams, you're a liar.
Rico Gathers, Cowboys.
Hey, here's some couple that I knew.
Yeah, these were where. This is like where you started. Janice on the Browns, Church Jaguars, Logan Thomas.
Dude, I got like 7 right
Yeah,
there.
you had this section good. Forrest Lamp on the Chargers. Munnerlin.
That was the one I thought was the Panthers.
So you kind of talked about it, but Leonte Carew, I think he's always been on the Dolphins, but I'm not.
Who knows? I don't.
The only reason I know him is because we like.
I know you like him. You say his name all the time.
Because we jokingly gave him to I think like Joey in the fantasy league when he left or in the last round or whatever.
Because he's a clown.
Ryan did go to the Titans.
That was a guess.
Passion of the Colts.
I knew that one.
Burks,
I kind of knew that one. I knew that one.
Taysom Hill, I mean, he's the QB/gunner. So
Yeah.
Condichi's still in the Cardinals.
I had 2 nice runs of like 6 or 7.
You had the ones you were definitely confident in, and then you were just kind of mixing up.
If you tested me on the bottom 16, I think I only missed like 3.
Yeah, if it was just like pick the 16 that you're the most confident in, and then McGloin is the backup on the Chiefs now. Hey, 47%. We'll have to see if anyone can beat that.
Well, if they better do it while they're not listening to me, because
you might steer them in the wrong direction.
Yeah. I guess if they listen to the first like minute, they'll get about 6 real quick.
Fair. That is fair.
Where was Logan Thomas?
The Bills. You had it right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's the tight end there.
I knew he was the tight end, but I knew that a couple times he came in and just like did like a weird quarterback dive or something.
Right. Okay, so final thoughts on how you did before we wrap up here?
Pretty bad.
Pretty bad. I don't know if I would have done a lot better had I not made this. You'll have to make a random one for me. And
The thing, I guess I did know, like, I'd say 30 of the 32, like, knew them, like, knew who they were.
yeah, so that's good.
And, like, probably 25 of 32, I knew where they were at one point.
That's true.
Maybe 27, 28, but...
There were not a lot of big names on the list, to be fair. I tried to make them that kind of questionable. Like, Glasgow's might be one of the best players, but he's a guard.
Yeah. I knew he was a recently highly drafted lineman. I just didn't know where he was.
Not to change teams. Pouncey's changed teams, I think. Who else we got?
Ooh, he's bloody. Sorry.
Some more World Cup action. Logan Ryan changed
Argentina's avoiding elimination, and it's important. Things are getting messy.
Ooh, I was waiting. All right, so we're a little over a week since the last one, I think. We're doing better.
We're close.
Yeah.
We'll
try to at least keep it in this range. Again, let us know if there's anything you want us to talk about. If you want to make us a quiz, we'll gladly both take it. I'll challenge Jerry. I'll see if I can stump the Schwammy.
Dude, doesn't want this.
See if you can make a quiz that can stump the Schwammy. Apparently, it's not that hard. I don't know.
If you work slightly hard for 5 minutes, you'll stump me.
Anything else before we go Schwammy out?
Yeah. Go Croat Daddies.
Do you want to elaborate a little bit more in case anyone's not sure?
Croatia is my weird team to go to the finals, but lose to Ronaldo. So
gotcha.
they're the Croat Daddies.
Go Waffles, go Belgium. All right. Schwammy out.
I think I'm ready to party.
Oh, we got to go party. Schwammy out.
Schwammy out.